and this might get me blasted.
Hey, do you want to tip us?
Tip?
Fuck you, dude. You're the problem with this.
Welcome
To
a lunchtime
Conversation. This is a lunchtime conversation. You start with mine?
I went first the last couple times, so yeah.
Let's go with
Okay,
social norms.
I haven't done one yet, so we're gonna do social norms. So social norms, we've had this discussion a little bit. We haven't ever really delved into social norms, and what I mean by social norms is things that society does, or people do, or cultures do that you also do or don't do, right? Or that you go against the grain because you don't agree with it. And I came up with a list of things, and I'll kind of go through. And I've got probably 15, 20. We'll do some quick shots. And then if there's anything we want to dive into and go down some holes, then we'll do that. And then I have some American specific ones. So this is weird to foreigners. This is weird to people who are not from America on what we do, things that are standard for us that are not standard everywhere else. And there might be a couple that blow your mind.
I like
and
that.
I also have some like foreign ones, like Japan, what they do there, Middle Eastern countries, France, like just some different things too. We can dive into.
Okay, so
can you give a background as to where this came from though?
That's the first thing.
People go into the insight.
You're talking about the parking lot one?
Yeah, basically where this stemmed from.
Okay. Yeah. So this is actually where I wanted to lead off to was with parking lots and gas stations specifically. So me and Jordan were driving out one day, and he decides to park. We get to, it's one of those like gas stations that also has food, like a Subway.
It's like a truck stop.
Yeah, it's a truck stop, and there is all the parking spaces are filled, but there's some gas pumps that are open, and so he parks in a gas pump, so we can go inside.
Oh, but he didn't fill up.
But he didn't fill up.
Getting gas.
And we were going to be in there for like 20 minutes because we were going to get food and get drinks and stuff. So, excuse me. So I look at him like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, he's like, what do you mean? Like, and he goes off on a tangent of like, you're just against these social norms and blah, blah, blah. But I disagree. So let's start here. Let's start with parking lots because I've got a couple. So first off, we'll start with the gas station one. We know what your answer is. You're going to park in the gas station, gas pump.
If the parking lot is full, I'm taking a gas pump to go inside.
Yeah. Where are you at? Parking lot's full. There's just gas pumps and yada, yada, yada.
I would wait till a parking spot opens up, or I would try to park somewhere else where there wasn't a parking spot.
Yes.
Like make it up.
Because that's
Really?
normal.
No,
that's the actual. Because look at this.
That is
like,
an inconvenience on you.
No, you just park off on the side, like on the curb, like where the
Yeah, okay, granted, if you
where
have
you
curb
take
space.
your dog to shit.
What if you don't have curb space? What if it's a 7-Eleven that most times don't have curb space and there's parking spots and that's it? And then there's the gas pumps.
That's rare.
I would wait for a spot to open up.
I wouldn't.
No.
So let's metaphorically, in your scenario where there is, oh my God, there's in this massive 10,000 square foot stretch of concrete, there is nowhere else for my vehicle. Then okay, yeah, I'm gonna get into the gas pump. But there's no way that's gonna happen.
Here's another thing I've heard though. Some people will park at a gas pump, but they won't park at a diesel pump, knowing that diesel pumps are a little more
Scarce?
rare. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some people at work brought that up.
Yeah. So would you park at a gas pump though?
Yeah, they
Come on,
definitely
it's a gas
wouldn't
pump.
park in a diesel, but they would in a gas because
Yeah.
there's so many of the gas.
The thing that I have is I've been to gas stations countless times where I pull in and there's nothing. You have to wait in line to pump your gas.
Yes.
And that fucking sucks. And then while you're sitting
that's
there,
different. If there's a very busy gas station
You're
that
not
has,
doing
I'm not going to take a pump where I know
Right.
there's a
that's
line
fair.
of cars.
Then you're not
Our
that
situation
crazy.
that we ran into, by the way, this is probably going to get me blasted by whoever hears this and disagrees with me. They're going to think I'm the freaking devil or something. It was totally empty. There was like one car pumping gas and like 30 pumps.
Okay, so there was 30 pumps open, and then you took one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a line of cars.
Probably fine. I still would go for the curb though.
You're in there for an hour and a half, and someone's like, "Dang, what are they doing?"
Yeah, no kidding. That's a big old tank. So to stick it with the parking lots though, I was driving in a parking lot, and it's empty. What do you cut corners or do you follow the lines?
Oh, I cut corners,
Cut
baby.
corners.
There are people who will not do that.
I'm cutting through the parking stalls that are empty to get to the other side of the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yes. I was driving and I can't remember if it was a Walmart or nothing or something, but I'm driving down and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stuff. It's the back section, right? Like nobody parks back there. And there's somebody who is like going down and then going to the next aisle and then going down the next aisle.
Like
and
playing
following
Snake.
yes, playing Snake, following these lines.
That's crazy.
And then there's me just like, ooh, like just cutting.
They probably
there's
think
no
you're an
reason.
asshole.
Yes, I probably was.
But like the thing is, that's kind of dangerous too in a lot of parking lots because there's cart stalls, there's carts sitting everywhere. Some parking lots have curbs or dividers.
Yep.
So I could see like where some parking lots maybe I wouldn't do that as much, but Walmart parking lot completely open, I'm cutting.
Yeah. If there's scattered cars, I'm not, because who knows if a kid's running around getting out of a car. But if it's just open, yeah, just drive wherever you want.
It's just an open tarmac. It doesn't matter.
So my theory is that Braden was more willing to abide by social norms than I am. And you say that you're probably more normal with not following some, but following others.
Yeah, I'd say I don't follow more than most people. I go against the grain.
So you would put yourself in my category of going against the grain more often as well.
I think that you're more in the category than me. So we'll go down a couple more. So
where's Trevin? Where do you think you're at?
I probably follow a lot of social norms.
But you just said you only follow the gas pump one, and you don't follow the parking lot one. So you're 1 for 1.
Okay, true.
The parking lot one though, that's easy cake. That's easy street. Many
Yeah.
people are probably not gonna follow that one.
Okay, what's the next one?
When I say tipping, what are the social norms that come to mind for tipping?
20%.
20%.
Unless service is bad.
And I would agree. Unless service is bad.
What if it's a $200 ticket?
I paid $200 for the meal.
Are you putting a 20% tip down?
Unless service was bad. Yeah.
I would. I am actually.
There's probably a
limit. If it's a $200 meal, I will probably. Because at that point in time, I'm probably only going to tip $20, which would be just 10%. So yeah, I do draw a limit. So like, there's a place I want to go eat that's going to be like $350
for two.
No, for one.
Damn.
It's actually, we'll talk about it some other time, but I would not, it's not a tip. Like you pay for a meal and an experience type of thing. But I would, if I pay $350 for a meal, this is like a once in a lifetime thing. I don't have a lot of money to do this. I would only be tipping, like say it was a restaurant that you did tip at, I would probably only tip $20. Like I'm not going to be tipping like $60 for someone that just spent $350 of my money.
I feel like there's a threshold though.
Yeah.
Because so I'm a cheap ass. I've probably never spent more than $80 on a meal for myself. And that was probably like the most luxury meal I've ever had. So I'm like,
and it was an $80 per plate type of meal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's high. So, I don't know if I've done that.
Right. Well, you have, because you're like one of the ones that did it with me.
What did we do?
The Timbermine, dude, that's like $60
yeah,
a plate, $70 a plate.
Steak.
I know, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
But there's probably a limit. If I'm paying $100 a plate, my tip limit probably goes down a little bit.
Yeah. So I think that you guys ride this one a little tighter than me, where I only use the 15-20% as like a guide, and it's a very loose guide. I've got tiers. I have the job, and this might get me blasted because like there's probably gonna be some waiters and waitresses that listen to this and are like, "Fuck you, dude. You're the problem with this." So, when service is good, I consider myself to be a really good tipper. So I think the other day I tipped like 35%. It ended up being 35%. But what I did is I threw down like $25 because the service was good. They remade our drinks. They brought out some drinks, and then we were talking about like, oh, it'd be really cool if like this drink was smoked. And he's like, oh, let me do that for you right now. So he goes, he pours the drink out, smokes the glass, right, and gives it back. I was like, hell yeah. So tipped like $25. But my threshold is like $5 minimum. Like that's minimum. $5 if it's a big ticket.
So you go off of the amount of money you're putting down, not necessarily a percentage.
Yes. So I consider the service that is being done. And if you're just bringing my food out to me and then like checking to refill my water, that's a $5 task because there's 15 other people in here and you're not really working with me, you know,
but
for this whole hour.
Experience and you.
Yes. So that's kind of where I start is like $5. That's bare minimum. If it's bad, you know, $3. If it's like you came out, you barely brought us anything, it's $3. And then it goes up from there. The bigger the more money I spend, the more that you're doing for me. That's where it kind of changes. But I pretty much forget completely about the percentage and I go off dollar amount.
Okay, interesting. Do you ever not tip?
I've never not tipped.
I guarantee you've not tipped because every time you go to Costa Vida, they flip the thing to you and say How much do you want to tip me?
Okay.
Yeah, but
And that's I think with the tipping thing, that's what's been really frustrating lately is everywhere's asking for a tip. You go through a drive-through and they're like, "Hey, do you want to tip us? I gave
Have
you
you
an
seen
order."
that meme where the guy opens the door for the people and he's like, tip? He's got an iPad.
I have not.
Yeah,
seen that.
so I guess that's what I mean. But yes, if you're like sitting down at a restaurant,
Yeah,
it
I've
probably makes
never.
sense.
I'm pretty sure. And if you're listening
like-
and I did this to you, I'm so sorry. I'm pretty sure that I've never not
Okay.
tipped
I have-
a server.
I've never not tipped in like an intentional tipping place, like a restaurant or server,
Yeah.
waitress staff or waiter staff. But I have tipped very low on a $200 bill before, like $5 sub on a $200 bill.
Ooh.
Service was awful. Didn't get no drinks. It was like bad food, undercooked, really bad stuff. So I've tipped really, really low. I never went back to eat there again.
Yes.
And I was like, if I go back there, I know that I'm gonna get blasted by that waitress.
Well, and I've looked at it. I've seen it to where like you complain about food. Like I've seen it to where like someone I was eating with, they're like, "Hey, this isn't what I ordered," and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. What do you want me to do?" And they're like, "No big deal. I'll just eat this." But then they don't do anything. Like normally, like when that happens, like they come out and they're like, "Hey, your meal's free."
comp you a
And at
meal or
that point in
something?
time,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Here's $20."
Thank you.
But when they come back out and they're like, "Hey, thank you. Have a nice night." And you're just like, "Oh, and I noticed they like overcharged us for things. Like they had 4 drinks instead of 2 or something like that. Just something weird." It's just like, okay, you're not paying attention and you realize how
Mhm.
much more money you would have got if you would have paid
Yep.
attention
Yep.
and helped out a little bit.
We went out while we were in California. We went out axe throwing, and we were the only ones there. And this place had like 30 stalls. I've never seen an axe place that was like this large. They've always been like 5 to 10 stalls. 30 stalls. We're the only ones there. There's 10 of us, and so we pay our $200 and we get an hour. And that that hour came up really quick. And they also serve beer too, so we're getting some drinks and yada yada yada. It's like really close to that hour. And I walk up there, I'm like, "Hey man, like we're getting close to our hour, aren't we? Like, are we gonna have to pay again if we want to do like another hour?" He's like, "You know what? No one's here. Don't even worry about it.
See,
Just go until you're done." And so I went back and I told there people who were with me, I was like, "Dude, like he just did this for us." He's like, "Makes sense. We're here buying drinks.
Yeah.
Tipping
Yeah.
for the drinks."
Well, that leads into like,
And he's not making money off of our hours. He's making money for us just
yes,
being here.
that leads into
He's
like
not gonna
the
kick us out.
benefit of the kindness you can offer, or the benefit that you can offer by comping something like
Yes.
that. That is some people don't even think about.
yeah. Well, even just like treating people, like if you have bad service, but you're still nice about it, you're like, "Hey, this is what happened. Like, just want to give you guys a heads up." They're more
Courteous.
likely to be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." Versus if you come in hot and heavy, like, "Hey, what, you messed up on my meal." And it's just like, sorry. Like they're not
Those
willing
people,
to.
they get by with more though. Those people
True.
who throw a fit. When I was working in
But do they?
retail and stuff, they do. When I was
They
working in
probably
retail,
live shorter because they're
No.
stressed out.
yeah, you're right.
Yes,
There's a limit
100%.
though. So when I was working in retail, I would have people come in and say, "Oh man, like this, that, and the other thing," and they were too soft, and I was like, "Yeah, sorry," because like we didn't want to give out free
Yeah,
stuff,
Yeah.
that's true.
and so they'd be, "Oh man, bummer." Okay, they wouldn't get
Someone
anything.
would scream at you.
Then the people would come in pissed off, and I'd be facetious, and I'd be like, "Nah, fuck you. Nah, I can't do anything. Sorry." "Well, this is a bullshit." And I'd toy, I'd kind of like push back and toy with them because they were just, I didn't agree. And I'm a retail minimum wage worker. I don't care. But the people who did it in the middle, where it was, "Hey, this kind of screwed up. Here's the issue. How can you guys make this up to me? Is it, can I get this for free or something?" Then let me look into that.
Yep.
Boom,
So
and you got it.
there is a middle ground.
There's a middle ground where
Well, I
you're
think about-
assertive enough, but you're respectful.
I think
enough.
about the environment and the work we actually do. That back to your point, that's exactly what happens. You got somebody calls in screaming about a problem. What are you gonna do? Man, you're an asshole. You're gonna solve it because they're screaming.
Yep.
You got someone in, hey, take your time, get back to me in a couple days. You're probably gonna get back to them, but it's probably not gonna be immediately on the phone with them if you can't do it immediately on the phone.
Yeah.
The guy screaming at you, you're gonna do it to get him off
Yep,
the
little more
phone.
important.
exactly.
So it's kind of shitty, but a little bit like the assholes do kind of benefit in
Yeah.
that sense.
Okay,
They do.
moving on from this one. So the next one, and I thought about this one, I think last night. Someone sneezes. What do you say?
I've been bad. Until recently,
You've been bad?
the social norm is to say bless you, God bless you, salute, gesundheit, whatever you want to say. But up until recently, now that I have kids, I'm trying to be a better example. But I've never said anything. I'm just like, cool sneeze, bro. Like, I don't even know if I say that.
So now you're starting to say
you don't
it.
now
historically you haven't said anything to people.
yeah, if someone sneezes, I just look
Why,
at them.
why does that? Why do you take that back to being a good example? Why is that a good example?
I think from like raising my kids, I would hope that they'd be like, oh, hope like I don't know. It's
yeah,
just
but
like,
why?
it's a social norm. It's a social norm when someone sneezes to say bless you, just to be kind. Isn't it?
It is. It is. That's the weird one. That's why I like this one.
I also
And that's-
don't say bless you either because
What do you say?
Nothing. I say nothing.
probably nothing.
You sneeze,
When you die,
it
nothing happens.
it might.
Yeah. Well, we've already
Going
talked
back
about
to
it.
Dane Cook.
We've already talked about it. One, I'm not religious, and two, I'm not really superstitious, so I don't
And
know.
you don't have the power
Yeah, I don't.
to bless somebody.
Well, first of all, like saying,
See, I got the power.
saying God bless you in a religious sense is like, man, I hope you some well health.
Yeah.
But saying bless you is like an acknowledgement of like, oh, you just went through a sneeze and you got over it.
That's so weird.
It is weird, but I don't say
So
anything.
I
don't
think that.
So do you say bless you? Or
No.
do you say anything?
No, I might like, if it's one of those obnoxious sneezes, I might say Jesus,
Yeah, that's me too. Damn.
which is still religious, to be real. But no, I don't say anything, or I'll just tell them to shut the fuck up.
We have someone on our team that sneezes and she will sneeze 40 times.
I'm a,
You know who I'm talking
I'm
about?
a sneezer a lot.
And I'll be in my office and I'll sometimes peek out and I'll be like, are you gonna die? Are you okay? But I don't say anything
Yeah.
beyond that. Like, damn.
Yeah.
And I also, with my stance on this, it feels weird when I sneeze, and people will go out of their way to bless you. To make sure that you are blessed from the heavens above because of the demons that are coming out of your snot nose.
Yes.
They will come out of their way like, oh, they'll peek up over the, their book. Oh, bless you. It's total strangers will
True.
go out of their way to, oh, bless you.
That is the weird thing with strangers is that when you sneeze, strangers will just be like, bless you. God bless you.
As you're walking by, it's just,
Yeah, that is interesting.
they won't look at you. They won't, like in any ordinary circumstance, smile at you, which we'll get into. Look at you, say hi, but you walk by, bless you.
Interesting.
Weird one.
Yeah, that is odd.
That is
Because
yeah.
in another scenario, they don't give a shit about you. If you're
But if you
sitting begging for
sneeze-
money on the corner, they'll drive right by you.
That is a good one. I've never thought about that.
Okay, here's a quick one. Farting in public. Some people will go into the bathroom to do it. We'll leave the premise.
Why you got to say why public? What about somebody else's house when you're doing a podcast?
Okay. What about farting around people?
Yeah.
Do you leave to do it, or do you let them fly?
I have farted during the podcast. Not this one, but it has been silent. And I
did
know.
you smell it? You went, oh shit! I hope I don't get
No, like that's another thing. Like maybe I just know my body well. Like I'll have times where I'm like, dude, I can't fart because it's gonna stink. But then I have other times where I'm like, it's just gonna be a little.
Yeah, it's just gonna
A
be some
little
air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm the same
Yeah.
way. I think most people probably don't care about farting in public. Like everyone farts in public. If you're walking down the street or walking in a gas station, if you got to fart, you're gonna fart.
But you like
But if
let
it's
it,
a
you let
juicy,
it rip.
if it's a juicy ripper, you're probably not.
Yeah,
gonna do
I'm
it.
not trying to make a noise. I'm not trying to make a noise with my farts, but I'm gonna let them fly. I'm not gonna leave.
You let them
Excuse-
fly.
I'll
Right.
let them fly.
So we
Yeah.
took a speaking of farting, which this goes along with it. Funny story. When I was going to college down in southern Utah, we took a trip all the way to Mexico because we were going to go work on an orphanage over spring break. So we left like the weekend before and stayed the weekend after. So it was like a week and a half in Mexico at this orphanage. And on the way down, one of the kids in our van said, "Hey, before we leave," because it was like a 18-hour drive. Like
Did he
it was
ask if anyone
huge.
has to
Yeah.
fart before
And
they
so
get
on the
in?
way down, he said, guys, we need to talk about something. We are going to speak the language of love. If you love someone, would you want them to have a bellyache? No, you would not. So you would allow them to fart. So this whole drive, if you want to fart, you can fart. Men, women, children can fart on this van.
Fart it out.
That's impressive. He excused everyone.
Oh yeah, he excused everyone. And it was
Nice.
so funny because people started to fart and then it was funny. And then it was just like, it was cool after that. But if he wouldn't have said that, it
People
would have been,
sneaking them out.
oh, people would have been like, oh, my guts hurt.
Yep.
Ugh.
So what's weird about that is when like me and Ashley first got together, my wife, I wouldn't fart around her. I wouldn't poop around her. You know, you get in that like little romantic love stage. You wouldn't do any of that.
Yep.
I've
No,
been
I
with her
don't-
for
I don't go
15
to the
plus years at
bathroom.
this point. I don't
My-
think we care at this
My
point.
wife does not fart around me. The only time I've heard
but
her
I bet
fart.
you she does.
No, she doesn't.
I bet you she
I
does.
guarantee you
I
she doesn't.
Guarantee you
Wait,
I
she does.
guarantee you she doesn't. She is
You check?
weird.
I bet you she doesn't
I
do
check.
rippers. I
I
bet you
gotta
she's like,
fuck.
if that one's a juicy, I'm gonna go in the bathroom. But
no,
I bet you.
I guarantee it. You can ask her.
Really?
She is weird.
Wow.
I've only
Well,
heard
she doesn't
her.
allow it, or like she just doesn't. She doesn't do it. 'Cause
She'll
that's
go in the other room. I bet.
Oh.
Like she's a little weird with it.
She's a lady.
Yeah,
Oh, she's too much
she's
of a
kind.
lady.
She's kind.
She's kind.
Well, I was gonna say
She's
something else about
social
farting.
norm.
There was something else I wanted to bring up with that. Oh, I had a friend in high school, who I told was no longer allowed to fart around me ever.
You told them this?
I told him you are banned.
This is done.
You are banned from excreting bodily farts out of your butt
Because it was so nasty.
because it was so bad. Every fart was like you leave the room or you will die fart.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, nah, I'm done. You're
Yep.
not allowed to be around me anymore and be a farter. So
Sometimes you
I have banned
gotta
somebody
put your foot
on it.
down.
But I don't
Okay.
care, generally speaking, if most people fart.
I'll take the answer of this question with a nod only. Do you like the smell of your own?
I'll answer it. I don't like the smell, but it is weird that like the smell of your own farts is very
You
different.
rank it. You know.
Oh
you know,
yeah, you rank it, but it is weird.
How you can
This
handle
episode's
your
gonna be-
you can handle your
the
smell.
worst ones.
Right.
Oh yeah, they can be awful, and you're
Sometimes
just
you're
like,
like, that
oh
was a good
man,
I can sit in that.
just wafting
Your
and
skin
wafting.
burns. Your eyes start
What if
watering.
it's someone else's? It's-
But I think it makes sense. Like when you throw up and you can taste throw up in your mouth, it's just like, oh, I hate it. I hate throwing up. But
Thinking
like,
about
if
somebody
you
else throwing up in your
smell
mouth.
someone else's throw up, it's like, oh my gosh,
it's the
that's
worst.
disgusting.
Yeah, this is the worst. Other people's smells are not the best. Okay, so the next one here.
Wait, what did you
Oh.
say? Do you like your smell of your own
Like is a
farts?
weird word. Probably not like. I can tolerate, and I go, that was a good one, or that was a stinky
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. You
But
rank it.
I don't know if I would like it.
Yeah, you
What
can.
ab-
You can.
You
tolerate
didn't
it.
answer. What did you say?
I said nods only.
Oh,
We'll move on.
He's breaking his neck right now.
he's breaking
Just
his
gah,
neck.
gah, gah. The next one I have on here, these kind of go together. The first one is opening the door for someone and offering your seat. What's that
Ah.
threshold to offer your seat? Let's start with the door.
See, and I think this is where my thoughts about you being an extreme social norm follower probably come from. You extremely follow this.
No, I don't. I don't hold doors open for no
Oh,
one.
so, yeah. Actually, sorry. This opposite of what I was thinking.
Yes.
You don't hold doors open for no one. You have no manners when it comes to why would you give your seat
Manners.
up. You don't care about
Yeah,
any
yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
So say you go down to the park and ride to the airport.
Yep.
And they're packing it full.
Yep.
And you're sitting down in a comfy seat and a pregnant
doesn't
woman
care.
walks in and is
Someone else will do
standing
it.
there.
Not
You
my,
what?
Not my problem. is
Wait,
what he's
so
thinking.
like if I get a seat and I'm riding and somebody else comes walking in, yeah, I'm probably not giving it up.
what if she's
Really?
pregnant? What pregnant?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like yeah, I'm probably not giving it up.
Interesting.
Now there's situations. The closer I get to the situation, I might feel differently. So let's say that like it's so packed that this person, this lady, this pregnant lady, she comes in and my seat is the next one standing to her, and there's no one who can possibly give up their seat for this woman because it's so packed. I might.
What about on
Interesting.
a bus where they have like handicapped seats?
I would give that up. Like I wouldn't be in the handicap stall.
so you.
But
so
what if
you're-
there's no handicapped people on the bus?
Oh yeah, then I'm taking it.
Even over the pregnant lady? Who could technically
She's not
be-
handicapped.
I mean, what if she's like 9 months pregnant and she's just waddling?
She's waddling onto the
Then
bus.
she
dude.
probably shouldn't be on the damn public bus. you know?
That's so funny. See, I'm heavy on that. Like I
You
would
give it up.
I would try to be the first one to give it up.
I would also give it
Not
up.
try to be. Like I'm not going to compete with people, but like if
no,
I'm
no,
sitting
sir, me.
sit down, I'm the most chivalrous one. I would try to be the one that's like, "Hey, you need to sit down." And I've done it before, and what's interesting is a lot of people are like, "No, I don't need it. I don't need to sit down."
They won't accept it sometimes. What about opening the door? We'll take it because the seat is like that's the next level of opening the door for someone.
I hold the door open for people frequently.
What if they're strangers?
It doesn't take, yeah. Like if I go to the gas station and someone's right behind me, I'll hold the door open for them. It doesn't take me any more time out of my day to hold the door open.
Correct. Are you the type of door opener where it's I will hold it for you and you can follow me in, or it's the I will step aside
I will step aside.
and let you in first?
Step aside and let you in first.
The same way.
I'm not that way.
I know you're not. There frequently I'm walking behind you and you just barge through the door and I'm like, guess fuck me, right?
I don't. I hold it open for you to
No,
also
you kick
to
it
catch
open pretty much as it swings shut. You're like, it's got enough. He'll catch it.
Yeah.
He'll catch it.
It's open.
Hopefully he sees that door.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't.
Wait,
I
let's
don't
go.
do it.
I
I
want to
don't
go
do it.
back though. Before you were dating someone, would it change on a gender format? Would
No.
you? You're so interesting.
No, I'm pretty consistent with my door holding.
He is extremely like equality. Like if you're a girl, fuck
Yeah.
you. If you're a dude, fuck you.
Hey, Valky. Just fuck them all.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like
Is that a fair assessment?
that's a pretty fair assessment because I don't. A lot of these social norms they come back to like there's a reason,
Yeah.
kind of, right?
Like a chivalry type of like.
yeah.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff I just think is a little bullshit. And so like
So you're thinking you're doing them a favor by not holding the door open for a girl.
they're strong,
'cause she's
independent
been-
people. And like I will of course, I will open the door. I'm not ignoring the people, where it's
Yeah.
like every man for himself. I will walk out, or excuse me, I'll walk up to the door. If they're close enough,
Yeah. Yeah.
then I will stop and I'll hold the door
And hold
open,
it open.
and then they catch it and I proceed on my way. But there's a footage there's a linear footage to where I will not do that.
Yeah, and yours
And I
is
will
12
not stop and
seconds
wait.
or 12.
And people
millimeters.
who no, it's not 12. People who will stop and wait though, like that
Those guys bug me.
15, 20 feet, then I'll call them out. I'm like, you're gonna wait?
Yeah.
You're gonna wait for me?
You know where our parking lot is and our back entrance to where we work?
Yeah.
If people hold that door open and I'm standing near the parking lot, I'm like, go inside.
See, and
I'm gonna be a minute.
it depends on the day, but sometimes I'll like hold it open just to start a conversation.
Yeah.
Like I'll see someone and I might not even know them that well. And I do it more of an excuse. Like I'm going to hold the door open for you,
Use
but this
it as
is
an
more,
opportunity.
I'm using this as an opportunity to build a connection with
chat.
someone I don't
Yep.
know. So it's like, hey, how you doing? What's your name?
Yes.
Type of thing. So
So you're a door holder.
door holder.
Door holder.
I'm a door holder.
I'm not a door holder. See, I knew it. We're gonna be.
What
way
about
ahead.
so here's another one that goes with door holding that I have on my list because I have a list of social norms.
Okay.
What about please and thank you when people hold the door open?
Well, I don't ask them to hold the door open, so there's no.
When they hold the
please.
door open or just in general?
No.
When they hold the door open, yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there's a thank you.
I
Thanks.
won't be running up the door. Please hold it. Hold the elevator. Hold the door. I'm not
Yeah,
one of
no.
those people.
Yeah.
I'm bad with please, and I think I do a better job with thank you. I've always been bad with please.
What
Like, my
about in
wife,
general, not just for doors?
I do really good with thank you, and I've always done really, really bad with please. Like my wife will be like, "You can say please," and I'm like, "Please, can you?" Like that's what I struggle with. I've always been bad with saying please, but I do really good with thank you.
Along that note, I'm kind of. This is an interesting. This is a little tangent. When someone thanks you, what is your reply to the thank?
You're welcome.
No issue. No worries.
Yeah, I got.
Sure.
I
All
I
good.
rarely actually say you're welcome.
Hmm?
Not because
So-
I'm trying to be rude or insensitive, but because like in my mind, the no worries or don't mention it or that kind of a response is more of a like a I don't know how to say it. I'm not concerned about you trying to please me or trying to thank me.
Yes. So
It's not a big deal.
there was something I read that it's a generational thing. The older generation, when they are thanked, they say you're welcome because they have done a deed. They have done a nice deed and they are owed a thank. And so they say you are welcome for this deed. Whereas the younger generation, and again, this is an article, this is probably, but
They read
the
on
younger
Facebook.
generation, that is expected of them. And so it is, of course, like there is no need to thank me.
Ah.
And so the reply to the thanks is, yeah, of course. There is not a you're welcome. There's just
See, and I do that same thing. I don't need your thanks. I don't
Absolutely.
need your pity. I don't need
Yeah.
I don't need you to comment on whatever's
Yep,
happened.
this
See, and
is normal.
I probably jump into I'm thinking back today. Someone said thank you, and I said no, thank you, and so I probably do the double down. I do that
But
quite
was
a
it
bit.
Yeah.
intentional? Do you do it for an intentional purpose or do you do it subconsciously?
I think I do it subconsciously. I'm thinking about it now, and I do it a lot where it's like, thank you. I'm like, no, thank you.
You're bad,
Thank
dude.
you
You're a
for
little
being
thank you
awesome.
cuck.
Yeah, just thank you.
You're a little,
Thank you. Thank you.
You're a
Thank
little giver, dude.
Just-
I know.
Okay, hey, good segue. The next one, gift giving and receiving.
Ah.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, before I kind of go into a couple points I have here, social norms around giving and receiving. What do you think?
I hate Christmas
I do too.
Damn.
because you're supposed to get gifts for
Yes.
people, and I hate it.
You feel
Same.
obliged.
You feel obliged to get. Even my wife will be like, how many gifts are you taking to work? I'm like, I'm not taking any gifts to work. She's like, well, why not? I was like, cuz. She's like, well, what about all the GLs and what about this and what about that? I'm like, I'm not taking gifts to work.
Or
And
there's a Christmas party. How many people are going to be there? Who's going to be there?
because
Because
I'm a horrible gift giver. I
I've
hate
gotta
it.
get a gift
I
card
hate
for everybody.
I hate the pressure of giving gifts, but I'm also probably the worst gift receiver. I
Well, thanks.
hate receiving gifts and the reaction that I expect you are expecting of me. I hate that dynamic.
Yes.
Why?
Like if my boss gets me a gift, even a raise. I hate getting raises, which I love getting raises, but I hate that dynamic.
We'll talk to your boss.
I hate the dynamic of like, hey, here's something. I want to see your reaction. I went out of my way to make this a great thing for you. What reaction do you have? Because my reaction generally is like, great, thanks. Appreciate it.
So I actually something funny. I actually thought about getting you two a gift for Christmas, and it's changed it like.
See, you're a giver.
So-
You little fucking giver.
You're just
I
a
know,
little
but
cunt.
the-
You just
Can I
giver.
just tell you now? Do you want to hear your gift surprise?
No,
Yeah.
I want to be surprised.
But you're
You
not gonna
said
have a
yes.
reaction.
Yeah, my
I like to
reaction.
know. I
My,
like
my
to know.
reaction.
Do you want to
I
know?
want to know, and then I'll tell you if I want it or not.
Well, that's the funny thing is because I was like, I don't want to do this and have it be like, dude, what the hell? Like, I don't want this. Why did you give this to me? So then
Wait, did
like,
you already
I'm-
buy it?
No, I haven't bought it. It's something I'm gonna make, and then it would be something that we actually
love.
make together on part of it,
Oh,
and then
Jesus.
finish.
What? Yeah, what is this?
Just cock, dude.
Just painting our wieners and slapping them on some art.
It
We're gonna
did
do this
involve
together.
nudity. Dang it, you guys
We're
don't
gonna
like
make
it.
dildos.
Did it really involve nudity?
No, it didn't. But
We'd be in.
Are you
I'll-
wanting to tell us or not?
I'll tell you.
Are,
You tell
are
us.
you wanting to or not?
No, it'll be good for the podcast. I'll tell you, and then you guys can tell me if you want it or not, and if it would even be worth your time. So you make a moon that's like 1 foot in, like it's this big. It's like a 1 foot in diameter.
Mhm.
But how you do it is it's just on a flat piece of board, and then the sides are raised, and you put LED lights, and then you use cement mix to make the craters. So that's what I thought would be fun is I would make the board and the LEDs and then the cement mix, and then we would go over and you guys could make your own moon. And then when you turn the LEDs on, it looks like a 3D moon because it only lights up the edges, so it gets
edges.
darker in the middle. So it's actually like it looks badass,
I'm
and
in.
I was like,
I'm in.
that would be
Yeah.
fun because it would be a gift that I give to you guys because I make a majority of it, but then you guys could make the moon, and I'd even have paint there that you could paint it so it could be different colors.
See, you're a great gift giver. You're a great gift giver.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Mike. Yeah.
But-
Fuck
Because
my
you.
thing-
now,
but
when
no.
December comes around, we get like, fuck, like we gotta get arts and craftsy here. Like I was just gonna do it for gift card. I was maybe not
I
even gonna do
wasn't-
anything.
I wasn't gonna get Trevin shit, and now I have to get him a freaking.
But seriously, like that's my
Saturn.
go-to. Like if I don't know what to get you, I'm getting you like a throw blanket, some slippers, and a gift card because I don't know I don't know what to get you.
Dude, gift cards are amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty good at gift giving, even for like my family. Like I'll write. I'm not good at wrapping paper or wrapping
Mhm.
gifts, and so I'll write them a note. Like, and I'm talking like a novel. Like I'll spend like
Jesus.
10 minutes writing my wife like a letter
Yeah.
on.
Go ask
on
Ashley
the
when the
gift.
last time she received a love letter from you. She got a bag of high school notes 15 years ago.
Yeah,
And,
and that
she's
was the
set for
last.
life.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? I gave you it 15 years ago.
I'm just a romantic at
Don't
heart.
tell her that because she'll leave me, please.
Okay. She's gonna listen to this
So
episode.
we pretty much covered all of the gift giving and receiving without me even asking it. Here's one though.
So back to that one though.
Okay.
I don't like, and that's what's hard about gift giving. I thought about even doing this after Christmas or some other time, just as a, hey, this is something fun I wanted to do. It's not because of Christmas, but it's just easier to do. And so even with
It's
this
just a
one,
good idea.
I might just do it sometime in the
Yeah.
winter, like in January or February, because I don't expect it. That's one thing that does frustrate me is if someone gives me a gift and then I feel obliged to give them one, or vice versa. Like I
Especially
don't
So
want
something
it.
I learned to do because I'm a really bad gift receiver, so I had to learn to do this kind of to be a good gift receiver is take a picture of you using that gift and share that with the person who gave you the gift. Like my brother-in-law
Oh.
gave me some really cool like whiskey glasses. I'm not a
Okay.
super big whiskey drinker, but I filled it up and I drank it. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, these are awesome. Thank you. And I showed him a picture of me drinking it just to see like, oh, he's putting it to good use.
Yes.
But I do want to go back to the raise thing because you guys could actually help me with it. Because I really, really suck with this because I'm just a bad gift receiver. And I kind of take it the same way. When you get a raise, what's your reaction?
Appreciation.
I have
Yeah,
given
but how like, oh, Braden, here's your raise. You did awesome, man. Here's your blah, blah, blah percentage or blah, 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 blah raise.
To be honest, what it is, I look at it and I always feel grateful for the raise, but I'm not one to like get up and oh my God, this is sick, even though it feels awesome. when
Because
someone does do that.
I'm not your boss, but I, as your boss, would be like, I'm going out of my way to give you a rock star badass raise. I want to see this can be a fun one to give you.
Mm-hmm. So it would be like, it would be more along the lines of, wow, this is awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate this.
I think I've given you a raise before.
And you have. And it was the same, wasn't it?
I think, yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
thank you
Okay.
very
It
much. I
was.
appreciate this.
It was.
What's your reaction?
So because like your reaction when I gave you a raise was good. Because there has been times that I've given people a raise and they are just like,
Great,
cool.
thanks. Yeah, me too. And I'm like,
Thanks.
okay.
And they sign it and like, cause it's paperwork. We're signing that, hey, here's how much you'll be paid now. And it kind of pisses me off. Cause like, I don't think they realize how much effort went into it.
But
like,
that's what I'm saying as the receiver on that end, because I've given raises too, and I've had people do that, and I'm like, it's kind of shitty. But as the receiver of getting the raise, I don't want to put you in that position to where I know you're going to feel shitty because you went out of your way. So then I kind of like play it up a little bit. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. Similar to what you were saying.
exactly.
And that's
Where
all
it's
that's
it's
necessary.
genuine, but that's not really how like I'm
How you really would.
internalizing it.
I mean, giving a raise, it's awesome when someone goes, oh shit, like,
Right.
that's sick.
And
Thank
it's-
you. That's awesome.
Yeah, and you feel good. You're like, cool, dude. I'm glad you're happy. And so I try to play it up a little bit too, and I mostly just try to be very, hey, thank you. I appreciate, even if it's like 1%. I'm like, dude, thank you. I appreciate it. Like that's awesome.
So the last time when I got a raise, I had a pretty shit reaction. It was pretty bad. It was like, dude, this is awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Awesome. Very monotone, very bad. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, that's gotta fucking suck for my boss. Just go through that with me. Give me a stellar raise.
Yeah.
And he got that reaction out of me. Let me put down some points on paper and tell him why I'm grateful. So then I went and talked to him. I was like, hey, dude, that was pretty poor reaction to me. I'm sorry, but here's how I'm actually thinking now
This is
that
how
it's
I actually
out.
feel.
Yeah, this is how I feel. And I think the conversation went good, but I had to force myself to do that. Otherwise, I just would have received it poorly. And he may have gone, great. He's not very grateful of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just need to take your gift receiving and turn it into someone doing a deed for you and showing appreciation for that deed. If someone was to go and get you food and, hey, I brought you some food, then what would you do?
This brings up another topic.
Thank you. I really appreciate this.
I'm also kind of sociopathic and I don't really give a fuck.
Okay.
Like
You're like,
I don't
everyone's
care.
going to be gone in a million years and no one can.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was,
don't
very
care about that.
nihilistic and I'm
listening-
very sociopathic.
I was listening to a nihilistic thing about that the other day, and it's like in a billion years. Well, they even talked about like do you even know your grandfather's father?
No.
No.
Do you even know his name?
No.
Either do I. And so they talked about like when you die, like you don't last very long. Like realize that. And so it was actually cool because they're like, so in other words, when you're arguing with someone, it's not that big of a deal. Because guess what? In 100 years, no one's even going to remember you existed. So it dove into that a little bit of like, hey, chill out a little bit. Life's like everything's going to pass.
Yep,
Just
yep.
don't worry about it.
Okay, moving on. We've got small talk.
How many more of these do we have?
I got a good bit.
We're at 38 minutes.
Let's do a couple more.
Couple more. Okay, we'll do this one and then we'll move into American specific ones. Actually,
okay,
no, this
yeah.
is a good segue because this is a little bit of American specific.
Okay.
Is small talk, talking with strangers. Another one is, did we talk about the smiling?
Haven't talked about it yet. No.
Okay, smiling.
I smile.
So when you walk past someone you don't know and you make eye contact,
I smile.
Nah.
you greet them, you smile.
I'll head nod down like the
Okay, but
Good day,
you,
mate.
You don't give them this one, where you lift your cheeks. That smile.
No.
It's not a smile. It's just kind of a.
I like my RBF.
I do that one. I do that one all the time. So there's small talk. Do you feel when you're near a stranger or a soft acquaintance, and there is dead silence, you feel obligation to small talk?
At work, I do. Outside of work, it's very easy for me to not engage
just
in
not?
small talk and just move on with life.
Yeah, I agree. Same way.
I feel the same. Now,
What about
now this one's American specific. Is When you greet someone, how do you greet them?
Shake their hand.
You're in passing.
Oh,
How are you?
if it's someone I
you?
respect, it's a nod up. If it's someone I don't know, it's a nod down.
Okay, we're not gonna get into that one.
Psychology over here.
Yeah.
We could because it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, probably
but
how are
hit
you?
it. How are you?
How's it going?
So you greet them with a question.
Yeah.
No, I say
And what do you
You
expect?
don't. I know. Yeah, you do
I
something
say-
very weird.
I say howdy.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Howdy.
And
Howdy.
then people
But-
say,
but-
I'm
but
doing
what's
good.
howdy?
How are you? And I say, howdy is hello in cowboy form. I did not ask
Howdy
you.
is short for how do you do?
No, it does
Yes,
not.
it
How do you
is.
how do you do?
How do you do?
No,
Howdy
howdy is
how do you do?
howdy is hello. Have a good day. Don't talk to me.
I think we should have people leave
Oh.
comments and tell you how wrong
Yeah,
you are.
how do you do, partner?
How do you do, Travis?
And then like you walked by them already.
It's
By the time they
no.
get their
I
full
would say
sentence out.
howdy is similar to sup.
Yeah, but what is up?
Current day. Yeah.
What is currently
Yeah.
up with you?
I know, but when you walk by someone and they say sup, they don't say, man, I'm having a really good day. How are you?
Because it's a derivative of some bullshit from back in the day of this small talk shit. So, but you're right. That was the hole that I wanted to kind of peer into is how are you? That's an American thing to ask a question about how they're doing as a greeting.
Rather than saying hello.
What do you expect back?
Good.
There's only two acceptable answers.
Good.
Fine.
Great.
I'm good.
Exactly. It's positivity. There is.
So I've hit people with some weird stuff these past couple of weeks. I've been very intentionally went, I'm doing freaking fantastic. And I've had multiple people go, where would that come from? It's shocked.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
Or just to be like, man, I'm doing really bad. My grandma passed away. I have foot cancer. Yesterday
Yeah,
I
sorry
fell
to
in the
hear.
bathtub. Like you just get really weird
And they're
with
like,
just
"Ah,
like
shit.
They're like, no, I'm just saying hello. Well, then just say hello if you don't want to know. Vacation. How do you guys feel about taking vacation?
I struggle with it. I don't take very much vacation.
really.
Yeah. I hate that I struggle with it, by the way, because I know normally it's my vacation. No one's really going to care that I'm taking vacation. I know my boss isn't going to bat an eye if I take
But they
vacation.
they do kind of care.
But-
Americans care. Americans care.
Not, I bet you, I guarantee you my boss, if I went, dude, I'm taking 2 weeks off, he'd be like, that's great.
Sure. But think about the typical American
yes,
job.
typical American jobs. You do not take vacation,
You have vacation.
You don't leave anyone stranded while you take vacation either.
which is not taking vacation.
which
is
is pretty
not-
much
yeah,
not
yeah.
taking vacation.
Right.
Yeah. It's an American thing to feel guilt for using your benefits and for taking vacation. And it's an American thing to not take your vacation.
Yeah, because like a lot
or
of
to not take
Europeans
all
and
of your
Asians, they
vacation.
have like holiday, right? They take a
yeah.
dedicated time off to go do things.
weeks, sometimes months.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, you even look at some of the European countries, like when they have kids, like I want to say it's Norway or Sweden or something, they get like 6 months off. And they're just like, cool, see you in 6 months. Don't even bat an eye.
Before this year,
Whereas-
we got 2 days off.
Yeah.
Yep. The next one here, just to kind of move this one along. Refills. They're free, right? You take them, you get them.
Sure.
That's an American thing. In other countries, you don't get free refills.
Well, in other countries, you also don't get
You
free
don't-
water, do you?
You don't get free water. You
free
get, you get-
bathrooms.
In
You-
other
or free
countries, they don't have an
bathroom.
obesity
yeah,
epidemic.
Yeah, you're
in
right.
other countries
But-
aren't fucking America,
okay.
these pieces of shit.
So you get your water. You
Play the national
there's no
anthem.
ice.
Play the national anthem.
There's no ice in your
America!
water. In other countries, ice isn't. It's a thing. But
Well, in some
it's
countries
not-
you don't
it's
want
not a
ice. Like in
standard.
India, for instance, you don't want to order ice. It's filthy. It's dirty. They don't filter it. They don't clean it. Ice
True.
is not good for you.
Ice is an American thing. Even iced coffee in the winter.
By the way, I said that, and it's probably not a broad statement for the entirety of India. So I probably retract a lot of that.
Coffee to go. American thing. It's an American normal thing. Is to
Yeah.
get coffee to go.
Yeah, other countries
Because we
will
got
get like
jobs to go to
We
that
got-
you can't take vacation
Exactly.
for.
In other countries, coffee is a sit down, leisure, have a
Yep.
conversation.
Yep.
type
you have
of
like a
interesting.
glass cup
beverage.
you drink at the counter, or in India they have those
What-
vendor cards and you drink it while they just pour it the chai.
Here, I want to
Mhm.
throw one in. Obeying traffic laws.
Depends on what law you're
Ooh.
speaking about. That one goes deep.
No, I don't think it does. Do you always obey traffic laws?
No,
No.
I roll stop signs sometimes.
I drive in the middle of the road if no one's on the road.
Yeah, you're a
Do you
you're
really?
reckless, dude. You are reckless.
I
Okay,
drive-
I follow traffic laws. I
I
guess.
do not. You really do?
Yeah, I don't drive in the middle.
Why not?
But do you run stoplights and stop signs sometimes? Like if you're on your
No!
motorcycle, listen, if you're on
If-
your motorcycle and you come up to a stoplight and you're the only car in the intersection
No,
and you're
stop.
there and it doesn't cycle.
I have
do
ran
you do?
red light. I have ran
stop.
probably 5 red lights in the last 2 weeks.
Dude.
Let me back up. Not ran them like there was traffic. I'm talking like there's a stoplight kind of by my house, and there will be no one on the road, and I will just go through it.
But does it cycle?
It will if I wait there for
Yeah, dude,
another
you're awful.
2.5
You're really bad.
minutes. I do traffic
What
laws.
if it has a camera on it and now you've got 5 tickets stacked up?
Utah doesn't have that
How do you know?
because I've done this like 10 times at this one light.
Yeah, no, I follow the traffic laws. I'll even get,
Interesting.
I'll even sometimes get actually. No,
Nah.
It's weird.
Here's the social norm that I go to. I get pissed off when people will take like a right turn, or even a left turn, and they won't go to the closest lane to them. You know what I'm talking about? So,
Oh, yeah, they
so when
swing
you take a right
wide.
turn,
They
when
swing
there's two
wide.
lanes, you're supposed to go into the furthest right lane. Same with the left lane. You're supposed to go to the furthest left lane.
I do that.
Here's,
If
but
I'm-
here's another one though. What about blinkers? That's a norm.
I used to do it always, and now I've kind of it depends.
I'm a habitual blinker user.
You're in Walmart parking lot. I'm parking left.
Yeah, I use blinkers like
No.
crazy. And seatbelts, I
No.
wear seatbelts
Yeah,
24/7.
seatbelt.
So
Of course,
let
of
me,
course.
I guess, let me back up and clarify. If there is other cars on the road, I drive very good. I drive fast, but if I'm the only car on the road, I do not care about any traffic laws whatsoever. Like if I
Yeah,
come
that
up,
feels weird.
if
Yeah.
there's been several red lights that I have ran in the past year because I come up, there's no one there. I look left, I look right, and it's still got a walking signal. And I'm not going to wait there for another 30 seconds.
Okay, let me
and
ask you
then
this: what if you did get a fine for that just in the mail? They find you,
I'd pay it.
but would you keep running red lights?
No,
course
I'd
you'd
back
pay it.
off till my points got back to 0.
Start over, baby.
Yeah. So you, yeah, okay. So you probably violate more traffic laws than I even do.
I violate.
You violate a lot on your motorcycle though.
Do I?
Every time you speed.
Oh yeah, but I speed in my car too.
Covering your mouth when you yawn.
No, generally no.
Yes,
Sometimes.
I do, but I'm also really bad when I sneeze. I enjoy not covering my mouth when I
Oh,
sneeze.
do you sneeze
It
loud?
does.
Yeah.
Me too.
Just raw dog.
Just if
Oh,
I turn
dude,
my
it's a
head,
raw dog sneeze.
I sound.
Dude, I love it.
I sound like a yak in heat when I sneeze.
Yeah. Ashley will bitch at me because I will sometimes I intentionally not cover my mouth.
Yeah, I love sneezing.
If
They're
I'm
like
sick
little
or
orgasms.
something, that's a little different. But yeah, they are like little
They
orgasms.
are. Sneezing feels so good. I love sneezing.
Especially when it's a productive sneeze.
Yeah.
A productive sneeze.
What I hate though is like when you're eating, and then you feel one coming on. You're like, I gotta swallow this really quick
Or
because
that's when you do have to get a napkin.
it's going everywhere. Oh, when I sneeze in public, are you guys in hands, arms, shirt?
In my elbow. In the elbow.
Typically like back of arm.
The elbow is so bad though; it just goes everywhere. It doesn't even cover anything.
And if it's wet, then it's all over your sleeve.
Dude, I
and
just
it-
told you I like
I-
sneezing exposed.
What do you do?
You think I give a shit?
I sneeze into my shirt.
Oh,
I sneeze
okay.
down into my chest, into my shirt, and there has been a couple times when I go, and then I go,
And then it looks like you're lactating.
yeah, and then I-
What?
yeah. It's like the shirt comes down and like, oh no,
Dude, I love sneezing open air, so I don't give a shit if it goes everywhere.
in the air. Ah!
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I love sneezing.
Oh, next time you're sneezing open air, try head up.
You sneeze open air?
I've done it. Yeah, I do it
Dude,
sometimes.
it's fun.
When I'm alone, I do it.
Nah, all the time.
I
My kids will be walking
And
by.
sometimes, yeah. Sometimes like, you ham it up too. Like a normal sneeze is just choo, you know.
What-
When you're sneezing open air, it's ha. But next time you do it, try sneezing with your head up instead of down.
Here's one that you guys can answer for me.
Okay.
What about talking too loudly in quiet settings?
Oh,
We're Americans, so I think we just do it
No,
naturally.
I'm quiet.
And I'm just I have a weird I can't hear very well type of voice, and so I'm just loud in general, and I've
I
gotten
don't-
a lot of trouble.
I don't like people to hear my conversations that aren't involved in my conversations.
So I'm bad to the point like my wife will be like, "Hey,
edit down.
quiet down."
Well, if
I'm
you're
like,
hearing
sorry.
echo on this podcast, there's 99% chance that it's Trevin talking really loud.
Yes.
Just so you know.
yeah, but sometimes like, when you're out to dinner and it's like it's medium, right? People are chatting, and I only want the people to listen to my conversation that's right next to me. Like I don't like when it's yeah, and like people around can like if they wanted to, they could listen to everything we're saying.
True.
I don't like that.
I do try. I've as I've gotten older, I've tried to pay attention to it more because I know I'm loud.
Mm-hmm. I also eavesdrop, so like I hate.
So you are aware of what's happening. 'cause
Yeah,
you
I
do
know
it.
that level, and I know what's possible. You know, like sometimes you hear some weird shit. You're like, what the fuck?
That's funny.
They're over there talking about some weird shit.
What about dress code?
Nah,
Nah.
dress code.
You'll wear short shorts with cowboy boots and a Hawaiian
I don't
shirt.
give a shit,
Yeah,
dude.
sure.
I'm not self-conscious at all. I don't give a fuck.
I guess it depends on the setting, but yeah, sure, why not?
I'm very
I'm a
open
bucket
with the
hat
way I
kind of guy.
dress.
That'll probably tell a lot about me.
Yeah,
You're
there
a
you
what?
A bucket hat kind of guy.
go. Yeah, he doesn't care. Dress code's not even a thing for him.
Oh yeah.
But what about like
I
a
wore
work
shorts
dress
for a
code?
long
We have
time.
a semi-work dress code.
Yeah.
And I
I'm
really don't
tempted to
care
go back
for
to
it.
shorts.
Yeah, I don't care for it.
There's some people that do.
What else you got on there that's juicy?
Yeah,
Any
give
juicy
us
ones?
one or two more. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, come on, Trevin.
No, I here's one. Personal space.
Okay.
I get and I can, while you guys think about it, I get frustrated because I try to make sure I stay out of personal space, because there's some people that'll like walk up and they will be in your bubble and they'll be like, "Hi, how are you doing?" And they are right there. And
Yeah.
you're like, "Whoa, bro, you can
I
back
hate
up
those
a
people.
step."
If they're too close to me and it feels very weird, I get offensive easily.
Well, and I try to make it awkward because like I try to like sit back so that I can see them, and I'm just like, "You are so close to me," and I'm short anyways. But like, yeah, it's the personal space a weird one.
Yeah, I like my personal, but like when you're standing in a line, I hate when people give like the person in front of them like 6 feet.
Yes,
It's like, okay, dude, come on, like let's
scoot it up a little bit.
let's tighten this ship up a little bit. Let's see if we can fit some more people in this line.
What if-
COVID's gone. It's 2023.
But what
Yeah.
if they're nut to butt? You're in a grocery store shopping line.
And
Some
and that's
cultures do
frus-
that.
But that's
I
frustrating
know,
to
but
me.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, some cultures that is the normal. When you queue for something, you are nut to butt. You are belly on back.
Nah.
Yeah, and that bugs me.
Me
Like,
too.
back off, bro.
That's
Yeah.
my number one gripe with going to concerts is when,
Belly on back.
dude, when sweaty
Nut to
bodies
butt.
rub on me, you can go fuck yourself. I will.
Yeah, that is.
I don't like it.
Yeah, you gotta have your space.
Yeah. That I got.
That's all I got. I don't have anything else. Do you have any on
No.
your more? Any on your more?
Nope.
Any
all
more on
there.
yours?
Those are some good ones. So what I think we found out is you actually do violate a lot more social norms than I thought you do, Braden.
Yeah.
And Trevin, you follow a lot more social norms than I thought you do.
Yep.
But I think it stems from like a polite place. You're a very polite guy.
I would say so. Even from like I don't like to joke like the whole your mama joke type things. Like, I've never done that because I don't want to.
And somebody.
Yeah, I don't want to offend someone. And there's 4 or 5 females sitting around, and then there's a guy that's just like, "Hey, F this, F that, F this." I'm like, "Whoa, dude, tone it down a little bit. Like, these ladies don't need to hear that language," type of thing. So, but I'm old school on that type of thing.
When I
Like,
was in the army, I cussed a lot. I still do, and everyone around me cussed a lot. So I don't mind that, and I don't mind like derogatory slang. I don't mind any of that stuff,
yeah,
unless it's intentionally harmful.
true.
Like if you have somebody come up to you and just say, "Hey, this guy's a flaming effer," and not the fuck word, but the other f word,
Yeah.
you know, but you don't know him, that is gonna. I'm gonna be like, "Oh, this guy. What's
Yeah.
wrong with this guy?
Yep.
This guy's weird." But if it's a really close friend and I know they're fucking around and I know they're just like kind of
They're
not
just
serious,
having fun.
that's different to me.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't. Language, it really doesn't bother me, and I think we do need to get back to like, if like you can't control everything, so tone it down. Like, there's people that are gonna swear. There's people that are gonna say things that you can't control. Get over it. Move on.
Yeah.
5 billion years, no one's gonna ever remember you even existed.
There you go. There's your nihilistic outlook right there. Cool. Thanks for hanging out. That's it.
Peace.
Peace. Thanks for joining us today for this lunchtime conversation. Take this back to your friends and family, have these conversations with them, and have some fun with it.
You can catch us on a lunchtime conversation on Instagram. On Twitter, you can catch us on a lunchtime convo. And then on Facebook, you can catch us on a lunchtime conversation as well. So hit us up in the DMs.